Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Animals and Us. I'm here with Eden, farmer and owner of the Morwell Ranges. So Eden, tell us a little bit about the cattle we have behind us.
Well, Courtney, the cows behind us are primarily kept as pets, so they're pretty well domesticated. We feed them corn, wheat, hay and grass. Basically they're obligated herbivores. Cows actually have 4 stomachs, which allows them to draw as much nutrition as possible on everything they can consume.
Cool. So your cattle are domesticated, but what would you explain as a totally natural environment for the everyday cow?
Of course, residing in some type of grassland or pasture. Generally, feral cows live in a forested area but can become a huge problem in decimating trees and plants. Domesticated cows often spend their days in grasslands where they serve the importance of trimming tall grass. Then there's also feedlots, where factory farm cattle are housed. Obviously, feedlots aren't a natural environment for cows, but it's important to mention them due to the huge percentages of cattle kept in these facilities.
Cows are quite possibly the most important domesticated animal in human history. They provide us with vast quantities of meat, dairy products, leather, and let's not forget about manure, primarily used for fertilizer. With just over 1.3 billion cows in the world today, it's hard not to recognise their widespread presence in human existence. Around 8,000 years ago, the first cows were domesticated, where they started living and working with people. An important feature that allowed for this to happen was adaptation. The initiation of natural selection for characteristics associated with domestication sustained the cow as a species. This resulted in extreme adaptability and hardiness to a variety of climates and conditions. Contemporary writer Edward Price lists a number of factors described as pro-adaptations for domestication. For example, they should be fairly plastic behaviourally, are not aggressive, not sensitive to changes in the environment, are sexually promiscuous, and have a small home range, just to name a few. With cows possessing a majority of these important traits, and of course providing great benefits to the human species, domestication of the cow was possible. Of course, time, place and culture influences our interactions with animal species. However, cows are quite special in this sense. A hungry Hindu man would rather let himself starve than slaughter and eat a cow, despite numerous old cows roaming all over his village. Whereas the average adult Australian man who eats over 30 kilos of beef each year, this seems illogical. You see, in the Hindu religion, the cow is admired as a symbol of life and may never be killed. They are even honoured once a year on a cow holiday, where they are washed, decorated, and even giving offerings from the people. Even more different are the Maasai people from Kenya, where cattle meet all of the Maasai's needs for food. They eat the meat, drink the milk, and traditionally drink the blood of their cattle. The measure of a man's wealth is in terms of his cattle, where the trade of cows for other products and services, even a hand in marriage, is necessary. Surely this represents a huge psychological change between culture and place, but as humans we get to decide exactly what the cow is worth. The increasing demand for cheap milk and meat has raised key issues concerning animal welfare. Over the past 3 decades, dairy cows have been selectively bred to significantly increase the active lactation of milk, creating a disastrous impact on the welfare of the dairy cow. These animals are pushed to their physical limits to ensure the production of high volumes of milk. A cow is forcibly impregnated, so she gives birth to a new calf every 13 months. The majority of these unneeded calves are transported to slaughter at a mere 5 days old. Producing large quantities of milk puts a significant metabolic strain on the animal. The great weight of the udders often causes painful stretching and tearing of the ligaments, with frequent foot problems and lameness, a sad problem for many dairy cows. What does the future look like for the cow? It's an interesting question, and of course for someone as passionate as Eden, who has the funds and land to keep cows, it's a positive future. But not everyone is as intrinsically motivated as him, and not one particular producer has the ability to produce all that is needed. But that's where genetic engineering comes in. Genetic engineering is the new frontier of science that involves the manipulation of an organism's genetic composition to create traits that would not have naturally existed. For example, the so-called super cow, called the Belgian Blue, has been deliberately modified to grow abnormally large muscles for beef production. A single genetic defect is responsible for this enormous bulk, and that defect is carefully passed on to offspring. These cows can produce a huge 40% more edible muscle mass, surely a future benefit for the sustainability of cows.